There comes a time when what you asked for in secret begins to arrive. The inner vision becomes the outer experience. The feeling you once held behind closed eyes now walks beside you. It is sacred, it is real, and it is not to be shared with the world too soon. You must understand this. What comes from the Spirit is formed in silence, and it must be protected in silence. You prayed, you imagined, you felt it into being. Now that it has arrived, do not ruin it by shouting from the rooftops. For not all ears are meant to hear what God has done in your life. There are those who smile with you and pray against you. There are those who clap for your growth while wishing for your fall. And there are those whose minds are not ready to see the level you've entered. Their vibration will try to distort yours. When you speak too soon, you invite resistance. You give form to the invisible before it is fully grown. A seed that breaks the soil too early withers. A vision that's spoken too early shatters. Let them wonder, let them speculate, let them assume. Let the blessing take root. You owe no one an explanation for your favor. When divine alignment finds you, it's not for public discussion, it's for private gratitude. And when they ask what happened, smile and say, God knows. Because when the Most High blesses you, your only job is to protect the frequency that brought it into being. Speak only to the one who gave it to you. Whisper your thanks and keep walking. Let your silence echo louder than your words. Let your results do the speaking. You are not here to prove, you are here to live. So when the blessing comes, keep your mouth shut. Let the world see the light, but never reveal the flame. What is born in spirit is delicate in its early stages. Like a newborn child, it must be nurtured, held close, and kept warm in the secrecy of your soul. You may feel the urge to shout it to the world, to tell someone what you've received, what is unfolding, what is beginning to change in your life. But resist the temptation. For what has been formed in the unseen is still vulnerable, still taking shape, and exposing it to the world before its roots are deep can cause it to unravel. Every blessing you receive begins first as an idea, a feeling, a knowing within. It is not seen with the eyes, but felt in the heart. And it is in this invisible phase where it is most powerful yet most susceptible. The world cannot see what you feel. And because they cannot see it, they cannot honor it. This is why you must protect your blessing with silence. You may not realize it, but the moment you speak about what is unfolding spiritually, you bring it down into the realm of opinions, judgments, doubts, and energies that may not align with it. You transfer what was sacred into a space where people who don't understand your vision can dissect it, criticize it, and unintentionally project fear onto it. Not everyone is equipped to handle the light you carry. Not everyone can receive the joy you're manifesting without questioning its source. Not everyone will believe it's possible simply because they cannot see it for themselves. When you speak prematurely, you are inviting resistance. You give space for interference. The vibration you held so steadily in your spirit can begin to waver, not because the blessing has disappeared, but because you've let too many external voices into a space that was meant to be quiet and sacred. And once your inner knowing begins to shift, the outer reality follows. There is immense power in quiet confidence, in trusting what you feel without needing validation, in walking by faith and not by sight, and not by the sight of others either. There are moments where silence is not secrecy, it is wisdom. It is the sacred act of guarding what is precious before it is made permanent. The ancient seed does not argue with the soil. It buries itself deep, hidden from view, and trusts the light will find it. The butterfly does not ask for applause in the cocoon. It surrenders to the transformation. Knowing that the unveiling will be enough, you must do the same. Your blessing is not a performance, it is a promise. Keep it safe. Keep it silent. Let it speak for itself when it is ready. Hold your blessing like you would hold a flame in the wind, gently, steadily, protectively. Let it grow in the stillness. Let it rise in the darkness. Let it become so strong within you that by the time the world sees it, it is too rooted to be moved. There will come a time when the results are undeniable, when your light speaks louder than your voice ever could, when your life reflects the miracle you kept sacred. Then and only then will the blessing be ready to be shared, not with words, but with presence, with evidence, with unshakable peace. Guard it. Guard your desires, guard your manifestations, not because they are weak, but because they are sacred. Let them mature in silence. Let them become reality in stillness. For what is born in spirit must be honored with reverence. It is not for the world to shake, it is for you to carry. And the greatest form of reverence is to let what is sacred remain untouched by the noise of the world. There is a deep wisdom in remaining silent about the most sacred things in your life. When something valuable is placed in front of those who do not have the capacity to appreciate it, it is not only wasted, it is often trampled, misunderstood, or mocked. That is why the phrase rings true. Do not cast pearls before swine. Your growth, your transformation, your elevation, these are the pearls. Not everyone has the eyes to see them or the heart to receive them. When you begin to rise, when you begin to shed the skin of who you once were, not everyone around you will celebrate it. Some will resist it, some will laugh at it, some will call it a phase, a fantasy, a delusion. Not because it is any of those things, but because it makes them uncomfortable. Your evolution threatens their comfort zone. Your awakening shakes the foundation of their limitation. And so they will try, consciously or unconsciously, to bring you back down to the version of you they were familiar with. The one who doubted, the one who needed their approval. You must understand, people will only meet you at the level of their own consciousness. If they have not done the work within, they will not understand the work you are doing in silence. If they have not seen beyond the veil of this world, they will not grasp what you are seeing with spiritual eyes. Sharing your higher self with lower energy is a betrayal of the divine within you. It is not an act of humility. It is a misuse of trust. Every time you share a sacred insight, a new dream, or a deep breakthrough with someone who is not ready to receive it, you open the door to distortion. Their words may be subtle, their energy might be passive, but the damage is done in the spirit. A seed once filled with faith now questions its potential. A dream that once felt destined now feels uncertain. Not because it changed, but because it was handed over to someone who could not recognize its worth. Your elevation is not for public debate. It is a private agreement between you and the divine. There is no need to explain yourself to those who cannot see beyond appearances. When people cannot understand your shift, they will often try to shame it, dismiss it, or minimize it. Let them talk, let them doubt, but do not hand them the blueprint to what God is building in you. You are no longer who you used to be, and that means some conversations can no longer be had, some relationships can no longer be maintained, some places can no longer be visited. And that's okay. Growth requires release. It requires discernment. It requires knowing that your light is not meant to shine for approval. It is meant to shine because it was given to you. Let your life speak for you. Let your transformation be seen, not announced. There is no need to convince anyone of what has happened within you. The ones who are meant to understand will see it without explanation. And those who never do, they were never your audience. So guard your pearls, guard your peace, guard your purpose. Speak to those who recognize the weight of your words. Share with those who walk the same path of inner knowing, and to the rest, offer silence. Not out of pride, but out of wisdom. Because not everyone deserves access to what's sacred. Not everyone is meant to witness the miracle. Your elevation is holy ground. Walk it in silence, carry it in reverence, and trust that what is real, what is true, what is divine needs no defense. What you focus on grows, what you feed with your attention becomes your reality. This is not metaphor, it is law. Energy flows where attention goes, and if your attention is constantly scattered outward, you weaken the very power that was meant to work within. There is an unseen power operating in silence, in secrecy, in stillness. When your mind is turned inward, anchored in your desire, centered in your vision, creation happens naturally. But the moment you begin to talk too much about it, explain it, defend it, you shift your power from internal faith to external validation, and the process begins to unravel. The mind is a tool, a servant of the spirit. It was never meant to be dragged by the noise of the world, but every time you speak about your blessing too soon or your vision too often, you pull your consciousness outward. You begin to care what others think. You begin to notice their reactions. You start to interpret their tone, their silence, their approval or lack of it. In doing this, you dilute the force that was once laser-focused on manifesting. You fragment your energy. Creation happens best in the invisible, in that quiet space between imagination and reality where you feel it real and live as though it's done, even when nothing around you confirms it. This is where the real work is done. This is where the miracle takes shape. But if you continually shift your gaze outward, you break the spell. You step out of the sacred and into the superficial. You go from creator to commentator, from master to messenger. And soon, instead of building the life you saw in your spirit, you are busy talking about it, justifying it, waiting for others to believe in it first. The spiritual path requires inward attention, not because the outer world is evil, but because it is noisy. And that noise can steal your clarity. When your attention is scattered across conversation, social validation, and constant updates, your spiritual power begins to leak. You were never meant to explain your process while you're still in it. Would a painter keep showing their canvas at every stage? Would a sculptor invite an audience halfway through the chiseling? No, they wait until the masterpiece is complete. Then and only then do they reveal it. You must do the same. Keep your mind inside the workshop of your imagination. Keep your attention locked on the end result. Speak only to yourself and to the divine within. Feel your blessing real in your inner world until it is so strong, so vivid, so natural, there is no longer any need to speak of it. It will begin to express itself through your energy, your actions, your presence. And when others finally notice, you won't have to explain. They will simply see you were given imagination for a reason. You were given stillness for a reason. These are the sacred tools, and they are most effective when used privately. The more attention you give to the outer world, the more power you give away. But when you keep your gaze inward, when you trust what you feel more than what you see, you become the architect of a reality that no one else can shake. So hold your energy close. Guard your attention like treasure. Let the world guess. Let them wonder. Let them talk. Your blessing is not for discussion. It is for demonstration. And the more you keep your attention within, the more powerfully the outer world will reflect the truth you've been living all along. Stay silent. Stay focused. Stay inward. What you do not speak of cannot be distorted. What you keep sacred cannot be stolen. And what you protect with your attention will flourish with divine force. Silence is the shield of those who are marked, guided, and chosen. When divine favor rests upon you, it speaks louder than words ever could. It does not need to be broadcasted, explained, or defended. It reveals itself in your energy, your alignment, your peace. And those who truly see through spiritual eyes will know something sacred is unfolding in your life without you saying a thing. The chosen are not loud. They are not desperate for recognition. They do not seek approval from the outside world. They have tasted something deeper, something eternal, and because of that they move differently. Their silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. Their quietness is not passivity. It is protection. For when something holy is working through you, it is not your job to advertise it. It is your job to honor it. Those who speak too soon often disrupt the very blessing they are trying to bring forth. Every word is a vibration, a release of energy. When you speak of your favor, your calling, your growth to those who have not yet awakened, you hand them a part of your spiritual armor. You give them something to mock, question, or challenge, not because they are evil, but because they do not understand. And what people do not understand, they often try to reduce. But the chosen remain still. They understand that revelation is a process. It unfolds in layers. And not everyone is meant to witness every stage. When you are truly walking with the divine, there is a knowing that develops within you, a knowing that doesn't need external confirmation. You don't have to explain why your energy is different. You don't have to justify why certain things are being stripped away from your life. You don't have to convince anyone of the fire that's been placed in your soul. You simply live it. You embody it. And over time, it becomes undeniable. There is protection in silence. What you keep within cannot be touched. What you keep sacred cannot be interfered with. Those who are truly chosen understand that premature exposure invites unnecessary warfare. And so they move in quiet certainty. They do not announce every step. They do not explain every decision. They do not chase understanding from the world. They are grounded in the knowing that their path is unique, their assignment is divine, and their favor is already written. You must realize, people will always have opinions. Whether you speak or stay silent, they will talk. So let them. Let your life do the speaking. Let your results echo louder than your words. The chosen don't need applause. They don't need followers. They don't need validation. What they need is alignment with their purpose, with their inner voice, with their Creator. When you are marked by grace, you will often be misunderstood. You will often be hidden. Not because you are being punished, but because you are being prepared. Silence is your sanctuary in that preparation. It is where clarity forms. It is where vision strengthens. It is where power grows. So do not feel compelled to share everything. Hold the mystery. Protect the process. Trust the divine rhythm. When the time is right, the world will see. But until then, walk in your glow quietly. Let your silence speak of your strength. Let your restraint be a testament to your inner wealth. And remember, the most powerful moves are made in silence. The most sacred moments are lived, not announced. You are chosen, you are covered, and you are guided. That is enough. Walk in that truth. Let your light shine without commentary, and know that silence is not empty. It is full of power, full of faith, full of purpose. It is the shield you wear while heaven finishes writing your story. What is still forming must be protected. Just like a seed hidden beneath the soil, your blessing is delicate in its early stages. It is full of potential, rich with divine design, but not yet strong enough to withstand the weight of external scrutiny or the vibrations of disbelief. When you speak too soon, when you open your mouth before the roots have taken hold, you expose your sacred process to the winds of doubt, the opinions of others, and the subtle energies that are not in harmony with your vision. Words carry energy, and when you release your intentions, your dreams, or your divine instructions into the atmosphere before they are fully established in your spirit, you give others permission to influence them. Not always intentionally, but through their own fears, envy, skepticism, or limited understanding. Every comment, every raised eyebrow, every "are you sure?" begins to eat away at the certainty you were building in silence. What was once a clear inner knowing becomes fogged by the noise of external input. This is how manifestations begin to dissolve. Not because the dream wasn't real, but because it was shared before it was ready. Your vision is not for public discussion, it is for private devotion. There are things God reveals to you that are meant to be nurtured in the secret place. That sacred space between you and the divine is where strength is cultivated. It is where the foundation is laid. Before the fruit ever shows, the root must grow deep, and the deeper the root, the more lasting the harvest. But when you speak too early, you uproot the process. You open yourself to warfare you were never meant to fight. Premature sharing is an open invitation for premature attacks, not just from others, but from your own wavering mind. The more you talk about what you're building, the more you shift your attention from being to explaining. You move out of alignment and into performance. And performance is exhausting. It drains the energy that was meant for creation. There is wisdom in waiting. There is strength in secrecy. You are not hiding out of fear. You are honoring what is forming. You are protecting what is sacred. Think of the caterpillar in the cocoon. No one disturbs it while it transforms. If you were to crack it open too soon, the butterfly would never fly. In the same way, your vision must remain undisturbed while it takes shape. It needs time, privacy, and silence. You do not need to prove yourself. You do not need to announce your steps. You do not need to make others understand. What is for you will reveal itself at the appointed time, and when it does, it will speak louder than words ever could. Until then, protect it. Guard it. Keep your spiritual womb closed until the birth is undeniable. Not everyone can carry the weight of your dream. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your promise, and some, even with good intentions, may unknowingly project fear or disbelief onto what you're manifesting. That's why the silence is necessary. That's why the discretion matters. You're not being secretive. You're being wise. Let your life unfold in divine timing. Let the evidence speak for you. Keep your blessing close, like a treasure not yet ready to be unveiled. Let it grow in peace. Let it mature in quiet, and when it's ready, it will not need defending. It will be too solid to be shaken, too rooted to be removed, too blessed to be blocked. Speak less, believe more. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. What you protect today will reward you tomorrow. And what you nurture in secret will shine in public when the time is right. The greatest miracles do not announce themselves. They do not come with trumpet sounds or crowds bearing witness. They happen quietly, beneath the surface, often unseen by the world, but deeply felt by the soul. Just as the seed splits open in the dark earth, pushing silently upward toward the light, so too does transformation unfold within you, away from the noise, away from the applause, away from explanation. The seed does not shout that it's growing. The tree does not boast that it's about to bear fruit. The caterpillar wraps itself in stillness and silence and disappears from view, not to impress, not to prove, but to become. And when it reemerges, it does so transformed, renewed, free. This is the way of divine growth. It is personal, it is sacred, it is quiet. There is a power in not being seen while you are becoming, in being tucked away while the old version of you dissolves and something stronger, clearer, and more aligned takes its place. Most people will never understand the magnitude of what you're doing in the silence. They will not see the inner wrestling, the letting go, the spiritual labor that takes place behind the scenes. And they're not meant to, because the miracle is not for them. It's for you. You do not need an audience for your healing. You do not need validation for your awakening. When the divine works in you, it rarely comes with a spotlight. It comes in whispers and nudges. In the stillness of the night, when your mind is quiet and your heart is open, that's where the real change takes place. That's where you are reshaped. And the more deeply you allow yourself to lean into that quiet transformation, the more profound the outcome. Let your life do the talking. Let the change in your presence, your energy, your choices become the evidence. You do not need to convince anyone that you're growing. You do not need to explain the shifts you're making. You do not owe anyone access to your sacred becoming. In fact, the more silent you remain, the more powerful the transformation becomes. Because what is hidden is protected, and what is protected has the freedom to flourish. People often look for proof before belief, but miracles don't work that way. Faith precedes sight, growth precedes proof, and results, true, lasting results, are the fruit of patience, trust, and silence. The most powerful moments in your life will not be the ones others celebrate. They will be the moments you decide to choose yourself again and again in silence. The moments you surrender the need to be understood and simply become who you were always meant to be. Do not rush to share. Do not run to explain. You are under no obligation to make your path palatable for others. What you are becoming is divine business. Keep walking in your truth. Keep honoring your inner voice. Let the transformation deepen before you reveal it. When a tree is deeply rooted, it can withstand any storm. So root yourself first, grow first, heal first, and when you bloom, let the blossom speak for itself. Your transformation is not a performance. It is not for applause. It is a return to truth. And when that truth becomes your foundation, you will no longer feel the need to be loud. You will no longer crave recognition. You will simply radiate what you become. Without force, without words. Let the world wonder. Let them feel the shift and not know what happened. Let your silence be your sanctuary. Let your growth be your secret. Because the most powerful miracles happen quietly, and when they are ready, they will be impossible to ignore. So let this be a reminder. When God blesses you, keep your mouth shut. Not from fear, but from wisdom. What is sacred must be protected. What is forming must be hidden. The silent season is not punishment, it is preparation. Let your transformation happen quietly. Your roots grow deeply, and your results speak loudly. Speak less. Move inward. Trust the divine unfolding. You owe no one your blueprint. You owe no one your dream. Your life is proof enough. When the time is right, the world will see what silence built. Thank you for walking this journey within. May you honor your becoming in silence and rise in power without a word.